All right, we're back. That was a song from the Shelters. That was Bird Watching. You are listening to KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm Janine. This is Get the Funk Out. Standing by to wrap up the last segment is Selene Calloni Williams. She's calling in from Switzerland. We're going to talk about her book, The Ancient Shamanic Yoga of Non-duality, the Mother Mantra. Looking forward to chatting with her. Good morning, Selene. Or I think it's afternoon or evening for you.
Yes, it's evening, Janine. Good evening.
Good evening. Congratulations on your book. How did you decide to write this?
Oh, many years ago, I was only 19. I went to Sri Lanka and I stayed in a so-called jungle temple of forest hermitage to study Buddhism and Buddhist meditation. And I met there my shamanic yoga teacher, Michael, who despite his English name was very far from being a British. He had been adopted by 3 different families and he had run away from them all within a few years. When I met him, he was living with an eagle. And it was a reunion because the first time he saw me, he told me, it's a pleasure to meet you again. And he initiated me to the path of shamanic yoga. And after 33 years that I have been practicing shamanic yoga, being also a psychologist, having realized how important and how useful are the spiritual exercises of shamanic yoga and Mother Mantra tradition with my patients, so I decided to write the book for everyone.
That's fantastic. I want to mention your background, Selene. You have a degree in psychology, a master's in screenwriting. You've authored several books and documentaries on psychology, deep ecology, shamanism, yoga, philosophy, and anthropology. For those who don't know, and I'm not that familiar with it, could you tell me about what it is shamanic yoga really is for us?
Oh, shamanic yoga is a very ancestral, ancient, primordial, and animistic form of yoga. Its main feature is ecstasy and non-duality, the so-called mystical or mystic marriage. Ecstasy is an amplified state of consciousness, an intensified state of awareness, of clarity of sight. And it's beautiful because in the shamanic yoga and Mother Mantra tradition, entering the state of ecstasy is also known as entering the psychic forest, or, as I like to say, the imaginal forest. Imaginal is a place, is the no man's land. It is the earth in between, where all the opposites meet, visible and invisible, life and death, conscious and unconscious, human and divine. And once you went there, your life changed completely, and you can be inspired and have a lot of energy.
Did it take you a long time to reach this state of consciousness? Was it, years, or did you immediately gravitate towards this?
No, it doesn't take long time because it is a natural state of being. Mm-hmm. So it's easy to enter this state. You just have to melt your fears, your anxiety, and through the practice of shamanic yoga, which are body practice, and breath control, asana, for instance, and breath control exercises. You can work at a very deep level. Also, through mantra, you can work at very deep level because a mantra is a vibration, and through the vibration of the mantra, you can enter the so-called mind of self, which is a vibrational memory, a vibrational consciousness, and you can change at a very deep level the recording, the programming, the unconscious programming, which is full of anxiety and fear normally. And you can melt fear and anxiety at a very deep level through the vibration of a mantra, through, as we call it in Shamanic Yoga, flowing sequences, which are yoga posture done in a flowing sequence through breath control, and particular sounds like mantras, for instance.
That's amazing. What I was going to ask you, too, is what's the role in nature in bringing us in harmony with our true selves? Because I know how I feel when I take very long walks, and it's a form of meditation for me.
Of course, nature is our best teacher. When you are in nature, you can melt attachments and fears spontaneously, because nature is impermanence, evanescence. And if you get used to stay in nature, you get used to stay in contact with evanescence, which manifests itself as beauty. And this beauty is also love, because it's the ability of give oneself. You see, everything in nature is evanescent, impermanent, because everything in nature gives itself. It's impermanent, and this impermanence is love, and this love can teach us to go beyond our fears and attachments, and to find our true self. Yes. Which is love.
Yes. So, Selene, for those listening who would like to know more about, a lot of people have a lot of negative beliefs, negative self-talk, and fears. What kind of tools do you have for transforming their subconscious?
First of all, mantras. We have lots of mantras in the Mother Mantra tradition. For instance, the mantra of images pacification is a mantra that we can use to pacify our memories. And if we can pacify all the events, all the emotions, all the images of our past, we can for sure create a wonderful future for ourselves and for the planet. So we have a mantra to pacify the images. Then we have a mantra to attract abundance and fertility. And then we have a mantra for mystical marriage. Reaching the mystical marriage means reaching non-duality. Non-duality is a state in which everything is distinct but not separate. Good and bad, right and wrong, and so on, are distinct but not separate in a non-dual state of consciousness. And this state of consciousness is a highly creative state, because the two elements, the two opposites, by giving one to the other, always create a new manifestation. So in the non-dual state of consciousness, there are three elements: the two lovers and their manifestation. So the magic formula of non-duality is 3 in 1, distinct but not separate. And this is the state of creativity. So when you are in the mystical marriage, when you are in the non-dual state of consciousness, you are in a flowing of continuous creativity. And we have a mantra to enter this state. As I said, a mantra is a very powerful tool, because it is a vibration and can connect us with the vibration of a cell, with the memory of a cell, with the mind of a cell.
I want to interject something because you just said something that really resonated with me. I really enjoy writing, and there's been moments where a lot of moments, I'll put on meditation music, and I get into this flow, into this zone, and I can't even explain like what comes out on the paper, and it's just a flow of creativity, and it's just a wonderful, amazing, surprising place to be.
Yes, yes. You enter this flowing state when you are in love for something, when you do what you are passionate, what gives you passion and love.
Yeah.
So this is the state of non-duality, because you have a lover with you. You have an invisible lover with you, and you both staying together create a new manifestation.
Yes.
So you are free in one. This is the non-duality state of consciousness. 3 in 1, distinct but not separate. And it is the state of creativity, the most beautiful state in which a human being can enter.
Yes, because I feel like it's a state of being less self-aware. You get rid of your negative self-talk, and you're free to just let it sounds so woo-woo, but to be creative, to be open to the possibilities. So I want to mention that your book, all the information about your book, The Mother Mantra, The Ancient Shamanic Yoga of Non-duality, is up on my show blog, getthefunkoutshow.kuci.org. And also, the book seems to be available wherever books are sold. And you're having your book featured in Spirituality and Health magazine, both print and online. And you're traveling from Switzerland, which is where you're calling in from right now. And you're going to be a guest speaker at the Science and Non-Duality Conference. And you're going to be in San Jose November 1st and 2nd, East-West Bookstore. So anywhere else people can find you?
Yes, they can find me through my website, of course, scw.academy, and through my Facebook page or Instagram or YouTube channel. I have a lot of videos on my website and on my YouTube channel, which teach flowing sequences and mantras and spiritual exercises of the Mother Mantra traditions. You can find a lot of webinars and videos for free on my YouTube channel and website.
Wonderful. Selene, we have to wrap up, but I want to thank you so much and congratulations on your book.
Thanks. It was a pleasure to be with you.
You too.
Jenny.
Be well. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was Selene Calloni Williams calling in, and all her info, again, is up on the show blog, getthefunkoutshow.kuci.org. That's a wrap for me. Sheldon Abbott is standing by. Here he comes. Dun, dun. Cure for the Blues is up next. You are listening to KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine.